All right, today we're working on a 2007 Volvo XC90 with the 3.2 motor. And common problem is that the shifter claw is what they call it. It breaks, and what happens is you get this floppy shifter where it will switch over to the Geartronic manual shifting mode, and that's not good. So saw a couple videos about some of the older models with the 2.5 engine, and the setup's a little different, so I figured I'd put this out there. Okay, so let me just run through kind of the steps of removal here. The first thing you want to do is turn your accessories on, put the car in neutral, turn the car off, make sure you have your safety brake on, your parking brake. Then you're going to take the shifter knob and you're just going to pull hard straight up, and it should release. Put that off to the side. Then you're going to pry this veneer up with a flathead screwdriver or a plastic pry bar. And once you do that, these two pieces will come up together, the veneer and the silver faceplate of the shifter. And then you're going to flip it over. There are these little tabs here. Undo this so they come apart. You can put your veneer off to the side. Now you can lift this up, put it off to the side. So this allows you to kind of fit it through this console cover. Now you can put this off to your side, make yourself some room. Now this plate comes off to the side. Now you have all the room to work. And in the previous versions, you had to take this whole shifter mechanism off because the claw was only reachable from kind of the inside and below on the bottom panel. This is a lot simpler on this model, actually. So what you have is you have the cover to this shifter assembly, and there's just kind of like these pressure clips, these circular barrels. They go into the little pinchers there. So what you need to do is just get a flathead screwdriver underneath the circular barrel, and then give it a little pressure, and then work it up from each corner, and get it off there. There's a couple little small clips and stuff like that you want to be aware of that you don't break. Just take your time. With the older plastics and stuff like that, everything gets brittle, so just be a little gentle with it, but eventually it'll... Now the claw is held in by just this plastic pin here, so what I do is just take a flathead screwdriver, pry that up. It's probably going to break, but the new kit has a new one anyway. So pull that to the side, and then now you have the springs, the black part of the claw and the yellow part. Just be mindful of how the springs are placed in there, and let me grab the replacement part. Here's the new kit from Volvo. There's your parts number. As you can see, in the package here, we've got the black part of the claw, yellow part of the claw, and they give you both replacement springs. So really you want to take half of the spring and insert it into the little channel in that, and then this black half just kind of sits right on top, and then the other arm of the spring goes into this side of the claw, and then you want to put your clip in, and then that kind of holds it all together. And once you have it assembled, you want to just fit it onto the shifter, and then you can kind of work the shifter into place. And then once you do that, now you take the spring, put it onto the little clips there. That gives you your pressure from the outside. Okay, so now I've got the I pressed the top plate of the shifter housing back on. Just do a little test here. We've got park, reverse, neutral, goes down to drive. There's no flop over to the Geartronic, but I can push it over. The claw releases, and now upshift and downshift. Everything seems to be working really well. I will say the only odd thing about the replacement kit is that it came with this this spring, which does not resemble any of the existing springs. You know, it possibly could be an upgraded spring, but I looked at it over and over again, and there seemed to be no application to use the spring, just because of the way the bends and how deep they are and all of that. I could not figure out how to purpose this one. Maybe it was kitted wrong and a wrong spring went in there. You know, oftentimes they upgrade these parts as they figure out what works and what doesn't with them, but I could not find an application for it, so I just reused the old springs, and they fit all of the curvature of the parts and everything perfectly. And as you can see, it all works perfectly fine. All right, so everything's back together. No flop over to the Geartronic until you actually push it over. So everything's looking good. One last thing I forgot to mention is that when you're removing this, just be mindful there is a clip for the wire that comes in for the aux. Just unclip that. You don't want to break that little housing. So just be mindful of that when you pry this away. And yeah, if this is a problem you've had and you've kind of just been living with it, the annoyance, it's a pretty simple repair. The parts, I think the replacement parts for, I think, around 25 bucks, 25 bucks. And hopefully with this video, it'll probably only take you about a half an hour or so. So it's definitely something you should just do and just get that fixed and get that little minor annoyance out of your life. So if you found this helpful, please like the video, and if you know what that spring is for, I'd love to know about it. So put a comment in if you know how to use that spring, because I didn't find a use for it, and obviously everything's working really well without it. So any info on that would be appreciated. All right, thanks.